Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is actually going to be setting up my new budget spreadsheet that I just got, as well as going ahead and setting up my January budget. I went ahead this morning, downloaded the budget. I kind of started trying to set some stuff up in it. That way it could kind of flow and kind of checking it out. So I have done some of that, but I figured there's a few other things we can look through and talk about, and then we can go ahead and set up our January budget. So if you're interested, then just keep watching. Okay, like I said, I found this new spreadsheet. I actually saw Carter Sullivan on YouTube use this one, and I watched her like financial reset, and it looked pretty good. I did not like the budget that I used last year, to be quite honest, so I was looking for a new one. This one, I will say, is technically for Google Sheets, and typically I like to just have it on my computer because sometimes, I don't know, maybe I might try Google Sheets because I did try downloading it to an Excel file, and I will say like a lot of the formulas did not carry over. There were some issues with all of that, which I was kind of bummed about, so I had to spend some time this morning trying to like repair what I could, get my references to work. So there are some things that are still a little bit finicky, but I do think we can still go ahead and do our little January budget and go through this spreadsheet, which I think will be good. And then I think maybe after January, we'll see about maybe going back to Google Sheets and then seeing if it's easier that way. I don't really know why I'm so hung up on doing it in Excel. Maybe Google Sheets is better. I don't really know. But with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into this spreadsheet. So like I said, Carter Sullivan had this one and she just linked it. It was on Etsy. They are doing sales right now since it is like New Year's. So if you're going to get one, I'm looking to getting it now, which is nice. So this was just like the little instruction tab I used where you can kind of set stuff up. And then they have the setup tab. And this is just where, you put your currency, your year, kind of put, different cash accounts, your credit, your income types, your expense, bills, savings, investments, debits, debts, stuff like that. And you want to fill this out because this is what's going to auto-populate in each month. So for example, whatever like credit you put here, whatever income, those will populate each month. So it's just one less thing you have to do. And then you can set up like your starting cash account with your starting balance. I didn't put that in there just because I don't really want to track that, and I still need to do the credit card. I kind of was getting frustrated, so I didn't do that one. Now I'm kind of focused more on the income. So this is where you put what you think you're going to get. I'm salary, so I know what I will get paid. Jacob is hourly, and I've talked about this in the past. I think if he works a normal 40 hours, he roughly makes $1,500, and then anything over that we like to just put into savings. So I always only budget for the $1,500. So that's kind of what that is. And then the idea is that each month these will already be in the little template. I was having issues with this. I had to hard code some of it because I could not figure out how to get this to work. And then this investment setup, I'm leaving blank for now just because we don't really have this figured out. This is one of my goals for 2025. But for right now, we're not going to worry about that. This is enough as it is. The savings and the sinking fund set up, that's over here, as well as your debt. So this is where like you can put your monthly payment and it will auto-populate. And then you can put your bills and subscriptions set up. This is where I was having a lot of issues. Electricity varies each month, so I didn't fill that one out, but I did fill out like my standard bills and then the frequency of them. So like most of our bills are monthly. Our trash is quarterly, and then the Netflix, I just pay my stepdad and I just give him chunks of money for that, which I will need to do this month now that I'm thinking about it, but we'll put that in the monthly things. I don't want it to populate each month. And then this is kind of what I was trying to figure out. Do you need to put the date that it's due each month or what? I don't know. But that's for there. And then you've got this annual tracker tab, which I think will just, track all your stuff. Highest spend month, lowest spend month, your net worth, how much debt remaining you have. And that's where I think if you fill it all the way out, which would be good. And I might do that just because if you've been here, I've been doing like my freaking debt payoff, which I fell off in 24. So that's another one of my goals, is to like really start focusing back on that. I do want to track that better. Same with savings. I want to list out all of our, so that's what's frustrating, is none of the savings stuff really like transferred over. So I actually think before I fill these out, I might fill those out next month more, and we can go into that and do a whole video on that, and do it in Google Sheets because I'm not super great with Excel. I don't really know why this didn't work. But this investment one I think is nice. So it'll tell you where your investment breakdown is by month, all of that. The debt one I think is really what I'm going to be using. So this one did carry over right here. So these are some of our debts that we have each month with our monthly payment. I need to do the interest. This actually might be a really valuable thing for me to do. I do think that'll be good. So there's also this annual goal, which I think I will fill out. Maybe, I don't know. We'll see. And then you've got your calendar where you can put, your bills in. This one did not transfer over. And then you can put your January goals. I think that this is kind of cool. And then you've got your little action plans for all of those. Wow, that is actually really cool. So your SMART goal, do you just type straight into here? Yeah, that's kind of cool. And then you could put to-dos. I probably won't. You can insert a vision board. That's cool. I won't put to-dos on here because I'm a physical person with my to-do lists, but I do think that's a neat thing. And then you've got your January budget, and then it goes each month. You have a goal sheet and a budget tab, so that's nice. And then what's at the end? Okay, so that's pretty much what this little package entails. I see some benefit of it. It's hard for me to say what I think quite yet, because I usually like to kind of go a few months of putting your expenses in the tracker and logging them and seeing kind of how things are displayed before I can give too much of an opinion. But right now, I think my biggest thing that I have learned is that I might want to try putting this in Excel or in Google Sheets instead of Excel, but that is totally okay. So let's go ahead and set up the January budget. So over here is this cash account balances section. This is kind of on that setup tab where you could put, your balances of each account. I didn't want to put that because I think that's a little bit personal, so I just didn't. And then I still needed to figure out the credit card balances. I think Jacob's only got $200 on his or something. But mine is pretty high, so we'll have to figure that out. And then here's your budget overview. So you would put any rollover, your income. This automatically populates based off of your income that's over here that you filled out in that setup tab, which I think is helpful. So here says the sum 1714, so that agrees. And then your debt expenses. So none of those carried over, so that's what we're going to be doing. And then it'll populate. Same with the credit expenses, which is down here. None of that populated, so we're going to be doing that. Bills, only the mortgage populated. Couldn't tell you why, so we're going to fill out the rest of that, and then maybe we can come back to see how this looks. But it will just take your income plus any rollover you have from the prior month, and then subtract all of your other things that are being taken out to give you your total remaining left to budget. And then they've got a little pie chart here for that. And then here's your different categories. So you've got your income, your expenses, bills, debt, credit cards, investments, savings. So, and then here is your expense tracker. So this is where I'll just literally go through on 1/1. We paid our mortgage. So I guess that would technically be a bill. And then mortgage, 2134. And then what do you do with all this? Notes, maybe we could put an explanation. Type, you can fill out that, so that's a need. Money in. Interesting, I don't really know what that means. Money out. Would that be, oh, where it comes out of, so that would come out of our checking account. Interesting, so maybe I should fill out, where did that come from? Here. So that would be, maybe we'll make this our regular Chase account. Okay, nice. And then we'll change that to, okay, it did not populate correctly, right? Okay, let's just undo that. I don't know why that didn't populate, but it's fine. So then it can show you over here all of the income and out of your account. So this should agree to your budget. And then now we have here what we actually spent this month versus last month's spending. Since this is January, this isn't going to be super accurate. And then this I think will be good as your budget to actual. So were you under budget? Did you budget correctly? Do you need to reevaluate budget more next month? That'll really come in for expenses, but I like that. And then just up top, you've got your totals. So interested to see how this goes, but let's go ahead and fill the rest of it out. I'm gonna just delete this for now. And then hopefully, actually I probably just screwed all that up. So let's just undo it all. Pretend we didn't even look at this because I don't wanna mess up any of these categories. But let's start with income. So this all populated correctly, so we're good here. This is my bi-monthly, is that what you say? Budget amount, so that's the same. And then same with Jacob's paychecks. I am curious how we're gonna do this because typically I just like to put all of his extra into savings and not even have it allocated in the budget. So I don't know if like manually, that means counting it into our savings, if that makes sense. I just think as soon as I put his actual in here, so like for example last week I think his actual was like 2,200, so that difference of 700 between the 22 and the 15 I would just immediately put into savings, so that way it's just not even thought about. That might be what I need to do, just so that way I can keep an accurate count of his savings, because if I just put the 15 here in the actual column and then not like account for that 20 or 700 that I said to put into savings, I don't think it, am I even making sense? I don't know, but I don't think it would accurately count in this spreadsheet, and I want to make sure it's all here and clear. So that actually might be what we do. This is just me thinking out loud and yapping. Sorry guys, you might not even care, but anyways, that's that. This will probably all make sense. Maybe we'll do like an updated mid-month check-in and I can like show you guys how I'm doing this, or like a end of the month, we can talk about it then. But let's go ahead and budget for groceries. So I think we're gonna budget, I wanna try and be good and budget $675. I will say Jacob and I are married. We do combine all of our finances. We do not separate them out. So that's what this is. Gifts. My brother does have a birthday this month, so we'll go ahead and just budget $50 for that. Eating out, my favorite category. Since it's the new year, you're gonna hear the same old spiel. We need to be better about eating home, but look at me, clearly I need to be better about eating home. So we need to like really set a realistic eat out budget, but also like a good one, a strict one, because I need to follow it. So I think we might do 150. We'll see how that goes. We might like have to evaluate mid-month, we'll see. Alcohol, this is mainly Jacob, but we'll come back to this. My spending money is usually around 50, Jacob's is 120. Those are just things we've set up because to me, I would rather prioritize paying off my personal loans than having spending money. It's not fair to Jacob because those are my debts, but it's where it comes in to like separate stuff. But anyways, doesn't matter. Those have all been set. If you've been here for a while, that's been predetermined for like months and months. So that's what that is. Health. I do think I have a doctor's, I know I have a doctor's appointment next week as well as the week after that. So I'm gonna budget, I think our copay for each one is like 60, which is really high. So I'm gonna budget 120. Actually, I'm gonna budget 140 because I do think I'm gonna need a migraine prescription refill. I cannot remember how much that is. So we're gonna budget 140 for those 2 doctor's visits as well as the migraine medicine. This is hard. I hate doing the budget. Household restock. So this would be like toothpaste, toilet paper, laundry detergent, deodorant, stuff like that. I'm gonna budget 50 and I might budget 60 because I know we need toilet paper and then might need more, but I like to have a buffer. If we don't use all of that, that's great. We're gonna skip pets for now. Tolls, I'm just gonna budget 20 because I never know what's gonna go on. And then one thing is, do we think this is accurately counting all of this? So far, so good. Okay. Gas for my car, this is hard. I can't even remember. Jacob's been taking my car more to work. I work from home, so I only usually spend gas on the weekends, if any. So Jacob takes my car since it's better gas mileage. So we're gonna budget like 200 for that because he does have a 45-minute to an hour commute each way. So he does use up a lot of gas, unfortunately. The Suburban, I'm gonna put 175 $150. That's like 2 fill-ups. That's usually our weekend car that we take going out. And then the truck, we're just gonna budget for $80 for 1 fill-up, which I know this is a lot in gas, but we have to use his truck for all of the cow stuff, getting hay and all that, and I do think we might do that at some point. So if we don't spend all that, great, but I just would like to budget on the safe side. Repairs and maintenance. So this is anything car related usually. I don't know. I don't think we have too much going on for any of the cars. He already did the oil change for the Suburban, so I'm just gonna put a $50 thing in there just so it's there. Clothing, we're just gonna do 25 because I do think Jacob needs new underwear and socks this month. And then miscellaneous, we're just gonna budget for 0. And then the alcohol, we're gonna budget 30. And then the pets, so this is any dog food, cat food, hay, anything we need for the cows, vet bills. So I know we'll for sure need dog food. I think the cats are set on food. The cows should be fine. And then I do think Molly might have a vet bill this month. We'll see. So I'm gonna budget $300 for that. Okay. Now let's go to bills. So mortgage is already in here. Electricity varies. I think for this month it's like 185-ish, not 800. 185. The internet is the same, and I did put this over here in my setup. Let's see what I put it as. Internet. I have that. Am I missing it? Income, debt, bills as $90.58, and then the phone is $178.44. So this phone, the internet was $90.58, $174, which $174 is so much for 2 people. Let me just say that. I do think that might be something I should do and spend some time focusing on this month, is trying to shop phone carriers. I actually think that's a good idea. Car insurance for all 3 vehicles is $260. Trash is paid quarterly and it's due this quarter. It's $97.80, something random. So we pay this and it'll be for January, February, and March. And then Netflix, I will be paying my stepdad Netflix. I'll probably pay him like 6 months of it, to be honest, because I always forget. So I think it's like, I think my portion is like $12 a month maybe. So let me see. So I'm gonna budget $78 for that, and I'll send him that. So there's our income, expenses, and bills. So now we've got our debts, which look like they auto-populated, which is good. Those, let's make sure they populated over here, which they did, so that's good. The credit card, I think Jacob's got like a $635 balance, so we're gonna go ahead and put that over here. Let's make sure that did not populate. Oh yes, it did. It populated right here. So what is this for? Oh, so this will fill in for maybe any income. What is this credit expenses category coming from? Worry about that later. And then I'm gonna have my credit card bill of $100. And then we've got $481 left to budget. So this is not great, but it is what it is. So we're gonna put all of that into probably the house account because I'm trying to build up our sinking fund for that. So we're gonna put $481 in there. And then anything for Jacob's overtime will go into this down payment category, and then it might also get split into this emergency fund. We'll see, but that is how we're looking for the month. I think we're doing pretty good. And then we've got 55 cents left to budget. The only thing I'm not sure about is this. I'm wondering if maybe like, I don't know. If anybody knows what this is for, let me know because I do not. But that is go ahead and setting up our January budget. I'm very, very excited for this month. I'm very optimistic for getting a better start this new year. I had every intention last year of being really, really good. And I think around August when I started getting sick, everything just fell off and I did not keep track. We were basically in survival mode, which, you know, it is what it is. But we are ready for the new year to get back on track, to be more financially responsible, be financially independent, manage our money well, and we are going to have a great year this year. I really want to buckle down this year. That way next year we can really have some more financial freedom. That is our goal. So I hope you guys enjoyed setting up my budget with me, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I do think maybe in the middle of January, towards the end, we'll see kind of how we're feeling. We might set up a couple of these other tabs and then also put it into Google Sheets. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.